question that was asked in a movie one time always have bothered me, has haunted me, especially since I've been living abroad. I left the U.S. in summer of 2013. Set out for a world tour. I was just really all I wanted to do was just travel, and you know, um, I figured whenever a pension check arrived, I could get on a plane and go someplace. I started off. I went to Jordan, um, went to Thailand, um, Cambodia, Vietnam. Um, then I ended up in the Philippines, and I decided to stay here because it was just so nice. My God, that was really nice. And the way I describe it, it's like walking out of hell into heaven, only to realize that the heaven you thought was hell. And because that was just amazing to me. One of the first experiences I had, it was in Manila. Um, I had been here for a couple of weeks, and I decided to go down to Manila. And I was walking down the street, and a group of cops pulled over. They were in a pickup truck. That's what they ride around in, a four-door pickup truck. And they pulled over and they said, "Hey, man, how you doing?" I said, "Great," because they were smiling. And I was like, "Okay, maybe this ain't going to be a bad encounter." And they said, "Are you from America?" And I said, "Yeah." And because a store I was at, they had came just as I had left the store. And I guess the store owner told them, "Hey, that's a black American." And so when they got in their car and rode down, they pretty much knew the answer to the questions I was being asked. They knew I was. Yeah. They said, "We know a friend, one of your friends, and they do that here. They'll say, one of your friends or one of your, expatriates or whatever. They don't use that word, but, they let you know it's somebody like you." And I said, "Really?" They said, "Yeah, come on, we're going to go visit him. You come with us." I was, I was freaked out. Police stop, gonna give you a ride, want you to ride with them. I'm like, oh my God. So I got in there with them because I said, well, if they're gonna take me out, kill me, what the hell? I didn't know what was happening. They took me to condo unit just a couple blocks away, and this young brother come out. Okay, he's a remote worker. Okay, he works on his computer. He brother make a couple $100,000 U.S. dollars a year. He's young. He's in his 20s, and he was friends to him. Okay, they were all friends. Um, in fact, how they became friends because he hired one of them's sister to do technical work for him, and so that's how he ended up being friends with all these police officers. And me and him talked, and the freedom that he described to me that he was experiencing. He said, "Man, it's just unbelievable." He said, "This is, I don't want to ever go back to the States." And I was like, I was in agreement with him. And I kept friendship with him. And I look back, I've been here now 11 years, you guys. And I look back over all the things I've encountered since I've been here. And it's mesmerizing. And so what I heard in that movie that disturbed me and gave me chills then, and that was in 1977, and chills now, is the fiddler asking Kunta Kinte what is freedom. Because Kunta had time they just chopped his foot off. Okay? And Hitler was like, man, you risk life and limb for this thing you call freedom. What is freedom? Well, he didn't answer. Luther did the very best he could. And I've come to the realization that me explaining to you guys what freedom is equivalent to you trying to explain to a blind man what a rainbow looks like. You can't do it. A man has never had sight, and you're going to try to describe to him a rainbow. I want you to do that right now in your mind, trying to describe a rainbow to someone who has never seen anything. That's why so many of the so-called passport bro movement and brothers ain't coming back. And they be trying to talk and trying to tell, and people be attacking them, saying, oh, y'all tricking, going all over the world just to trick. No. Mm-mm. Them dudes leaving the plantation. Okay? They don't want to come back. But then what else haunts me is the fact that Martin Luther King once said, one man is not free, no man. And so you feel the bondage of your brothers and sisters, and I see that, and that just eats at me because I was born an empath. You don't know what an empath is, you guys. You do. But that means you've never encountered one. I know my mom, she always tells the story of when she, me and my brother and sister, we were stair-stepped. So there was like me, 2, my brother, 3, my sister, 4 or 5, she's 5. But anyway, as we were little, when my sister would get in trouble, she'd get a whooping, spanking. And she'd go and sit down and cry, and my mom would say that me and my brother would both go and sit on each side of her and help her cry. What my mom was describing was empath. You feel other people's pain. Some people are so much empath that they literally feel other people's pain. There are some people who can't stand to see a person fall or hurt themselves or whatever because they actually feel it. Okay, I'm one of them people. But make no mistake, and I've heard people even say this, and they're right. An empath is one of the most dangerous people in the world you would ever want to mess with. See, because that criminal element, they'll hurt somebody or whatever. But see, an empath, generally, the only time they're going to react is in death mode, what you call death mode, defense mode. They will swoop in to protect someone who's been hurt, and they can put more of a hurt on you and be more violent to you if you have caused another harm. Okay? An empath is a person of connection, and I feel other people's pain. I do. Guys, there are so many times I've seen stuff that I just wish I never had seen. But I feel it from the individual. So, I mean, I think one guy, he said there's 250 videos of black men being beat by police begging for their life. This last one I heard, it was down in Louisiana, it was the state trooper. If you Google it and you listen to it, that he tells them, he says, I am your brother. This is what this black man's saying as he's being beaten. They savagely beat that man. Savagely. How somebody can sit and listen to that, I don't know. I don't know what kind of animals you son of bitches are. But when I hear a man begging, please, show them mercy, show them love. And they just these brothers when and so that's bothers me. That's why I do these podcasts. I tell you over and over, I don't give a shit if you guys like my podcast. I I'm sure that what's his name, Sean King, that white boy that does the social injustice and Black Lives Matter and all that shit. I'm sure that brothers be trying to contact him and very militant stuff. He ain't hearing what they got to say because 99% of his listeners are black females. Okay, he's making money off of black destruction. He's a white man. Okay, they're going to always go and listen to a white man and sit up and try to act like he's some kind of half-ass on your side kind of thing. They did that back in the 60s with the hippies. And those same hippies are the ones that's giving you guys 50 and 60 years in prison. Okay, those were hippies at one time. All right, I remember. Okay, those are the ones that beat you the most. Okay, uh, before then it was the beatniks. Okay, always there's that social element that wants to defy authority, and they want to use black culture, okay, to advance their gains, and they pretend to be cool and all down with you, and who falls for it but Shanae and Shaniqua and all them, and you guys end up in a world of hurt because now you're even worse off than you were before. You know, Martin Luther King said it best. He said, "Them was the worst one. Them so-called justice fighters, white justice fighters, them the worst ones. They silent, okay? They're there for their own means, not yours. They don't give a shit about you. So take that in consideration, you guys. Know that. Understand that you also don't know what freedom is. All right. Um, but it's worth fighting for. Okay. Just trust me there. All you got to do is just um, trust the ingredients here. All right, because what you've been dealing with, what you've been working with, is not working. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result. That's what being insane is. When you are just crazy as fuck, and you keep trying to do the same thing over and over and expect it to come out different. For every year, you're running around talking about going to the same people and asking for the same thing: justice, equality. You've been asking for that for hundreds and hundreds of years. And then you celebrate a day of independence, a day when a bunch of people got together and fought for their freedom, fought for it. And you celebrate them fighting for their freedom, but then object to me even mentioning the fact that you should fight. The irony there. You're sick. Let's do some healing. So I'm going to get on off here for now, but I'm going to come right back. Got more podcasts I got to put out. Just got to put out. Because I have to explain where we're going. And where we're going is me and your Uncle Joe's. We're going to sit down and we're going to talk this thing out. We're going to organize it. We're going to get it together. We're going to make sure that everybody who has committed felonious acts toward the general public is you're notified of. You're able to see them. You're able to know who they are. Okay? And I guarantee you, police departments end up having a majority be at every town hall meeting and hearing black men talk about declaring their independence. All of a sudden, they're going to be coming to you talking about reparations. I'm going to be saying, fuck reparations. I'm going to take what I want. Give me the southern states. Hey, listen, I love you. And I'm Nathan.